In this exercise, you can learn to add playback speed control to your multimedia programs. If you press the little cog button in the YouTube video player bottom bar right now, you'll see speed settings. That is your live example, and that's what you're going to be learning to program. Now, it's important to remember that you can use the same exact property adjustment for HTML5 video programming as well as audio programming. And it's very simple to accomplish because all we have to do is change one simple property. Okay, the little application that we're beginning with simply initializes some audio to play. So right when the page loads, this file is going to begin playing. Now down in the HTML, we're going to add our selection list first, which will be the user interfacing for allowing users to control the speed. And we're going to add just a simple select drop-down list with options. So put in a select element, and you can also put in the first option element. The select element, we're going to give an ID equal to speed list. And then for the option, we can put in the first value that we want. So the first value will be equal to the default playback rate, which is 1. And for the label, I'm just going to put change speed. Then I'm going to copy that option to create the second option. This one is going to be 0.5, which is half speed. So we can just put a 0.5 there. Now let's copy that one and make the third option. Let's make this normal speed, and we can actually put the word normal there. And then the fourth option can be 1.5. And then the last option, you can put as many as you want and increment it any way that you want. We'll just make this a 2. So those are the options that we're going to give the user in our speed list. Now when they select and they change any of these options, in the change event for this element is when we're going to apply these values to the playback rate property for this audio object. So right under where we're calling the play method that plays the file, we're going to add an event listener for the speed list element, which is this select list on the page. So we say var speed list is equal to document.getElementById speed list. Then we say speed list.add event listener for the change event, and we're going to run a function called change speed every time the change event is fired. That means every time they change the options. So let's take the name of that function there, and we just simply need to write that function now. Function, paste it, change speed, open, close parentheses, opening curly brace, and closing curly brace. Now here we want to capture the event. So let's type in event as the dynamic argument. So we capture the event as an argument. We can use that within the function to access whatever element that's calling this function to be executed, which in this case is speed list, this element here. So we'll be able to access that element using event.target. So now all we have to do is take the audio instance, say audio.playbackRate is equal to the event.target.value. Or you could just say speedlist.value. But if you want to do it more dynamically, it's event.target.value. So basically you're taking the value of whatever the speed list is set to, and you're making that the playback rate. Normal playback rate for the playback rate property is 1. And so remember, if you're testing in Internet Explorer, you might need to test with MP3 files. But I'm testing in Chrome. So you can test in Chrome and Firefox with OGG files. Now let's test in our favorite browser to see if we have a working application. Let's change the speed to 0.5. And you can hear a dramatic reduction in the playback rate. It's half speed now. Now let's go to 1.5 or back to normal. Now let's go to 1.5. Go to 2. Back to 1.5. Back to normal. Back to half speed. And you can also put a 0.25, 0.1, whatever you want. Okay, so just to re-emphasize, all you're doing basically is changing the audio.playbackRate property to whatever number you want, or whatever number that the user specifies. At any time, within your audio programs. And remember, it works the same for video programming as well. Now, a couple of people have asked me to write a page that showed all of the JavaScript aspects of the audio programming or the audio object. So I put a page together called Audio Object for JavaScript section at Develop PHP. So it's in the JavaScript library now with all of the other objects here. Where is it? JavaScript objects. Here it is at the bottom now. So you can access this audio object page to see all of the properties, and you can see I have playback rate is the property that we're adjusting in this tutorial. See? That's the property we just adjusted, playback rate. So this shows you all of the different properties that are open for you to use within your audio programming. Not only that, there's all the methods and the events. And I'm not done updating this page. I still have more things to write on it, but this shows you all of the properties, methods, and events that you could possibly apply to your applications and experiment with. So remember, that's in the JavaScript library under JavaScript objects, which is section 5, and then we have audio object here at the bottom. And check out these other objects. If you're not really comfortable with JavaScript yet, you'll want to get comfortable with all of the built-in objects. And this is not even all of them. There's a lot more, but I haven't documented them yet. And very soon we're going to get into the Web Audio API, which will allow us to do all kind of really cool things regarding audio programming. We've only merely scratched the surface so far of audio programming.